I am live, apparently. Good morning, good afternoon, good late afternoon and evening in some places. Here's a little cold drink for me this morning. A double shot energy. I don't drink energy drinks. As a matter of fact, I put down Richard's monster drinks. I just don't like the smell of them. But on the other hand, a Starbucks mocha, which is not sponsoring me yet. All right, let's see who is here in the house. Kaylee, thank you, my sweet friend. You are so helpful. I'll cry if I focus on you right now because you've helped so much. And I don't want to start out crying, but you guys know I'm a crier because I'm emotional about things that matter to me. And you matter to me, dear. Kaylee, okay. I know, but sometimes to see if something's working with spaghetti, you have to throw it on the wall to see if it's ready. Sometimes it's not ready. And that's kind of like trying to be a part-time or full-time RV or nomad. Jerry Hawley, thank you. I assume you probably are having some kind of work break. Thank you for coming, Jerry. Again, Kaylee, Catherine Cook. Thank you, Catherine, for coming over. And I want to highlight Catherine for just a minute here. So yesterday, her husband, Homer. I don't know why the word Garfield came out of my mouth. Homer, sweet man, by the way, sweet, kind, welcoming man, just as Catherine is, invited us to go to Yuma and to Imperial Dam and just look at it. We drove through and ended the day with a wonderful fish dinner. We ate in their RV. So it was beautiful time with you guys. We absolutely appreciate it deeply from our hearts. And I'm trying to figure out a way to repay you for that in a meaningful way. But thank you. Hi, Catherine. She's such a sweet lady. Seriously, if you get a chance to meet Catherine Cook, non-content creator that supports most all of us. She's a magnificent lady. Okay. Yes, Kaylee, where are we staying? Welcome and thank you for coming by. Oh, editing a M21 video update about the computer. So I'll be listening and checking the chat from time to time. Yep, I'm going to be editing all afternoon. Well, no, I'll tell you what I'm doing today. There we go. Oh, I don't know why I put that there. That's the wrong, it was supposed to be in Roy and Becky's chat. Again, I put it in the wrong, that's how it was a little frazzled this morning. As you can probably tell by my hair, frazzled hair. I've had to get used to the fact that expectations of certain things are just a setup for failure. And I've always known that because I've had a lot of expectations in life that were not met. Let's see who else we got here. And in case you have to leave early, please, if you want me to have, if I had your contact information before, will you please send it to me? Because I'm going to cut to the chase on the phone in case somebody has to leave. My phone, I dropped my phone yesterday and it completely shattered the screen. I can hear it ring. So if you're calling me, I know that someone's calling me. I can't answer. And it's like, one of those itches you get like so deep or in a place you can't get it. That's what that feels like. I feel like throwing it and completely busting it so that I quit hearing it. So if you want me to have contact with you, please send your contact information to my Gmail. And that way I can know who wants to have contact with me. I already got some people because of Kaylee. Thank you, Kaylee. All right, where are we staying? We're happy you are here. And then we got Bernie Ferides Pena. Bernie, we're back. Okay, Bernie Ferides Pena. Thank you Thank you for coming, and I need your contact information again. I looked at my Google account, and I don't know why, and I don't know how it happens. See, my suspicion is there's little people who live in our computers that want to, I would use a word right now, but I'm not going to, because I'm trying to be a grown-up person and handle this litany of issues as a grown-up. Your information is not there, Brene. So if you want to have me to have contact with you, your phone number, blah, 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 I need it back at my email address. How is it going? We're going to talk about that. Kaylee, yes, I normally drink ice water. I just have a lot to do today. Chasing America, thank you for coming in. Very, very happy. Fantastic travels. Thank you, Sherry, in Kansas, for coming in. Little bit crazy, L and J. I think you're headed here. I could be wrong. Maybe it was the wrong name I heard. I thought it was you. Roy and Becky, thank you for the raid. I love you guys. I genuinely have come to really care about you. And by the way, just another shout out to these people. Roy and Becky have welcomed us here into their little tribe. Profoundly. They've been helpful in ways I just didn't anticipate. So thank you very much. Yes, it's going to be one of those. Linda Barker, welcome to you. Thank you so much for coming. Justin and Christina's RV Van Life, thank you guys for coming in. You're just a very sweet person, Brene. Going Green Mom, thank you, Megan. Van Life rocks. Thank you for stopping by. Whoa. Come back here. And yeah, please hit the thumbs up. Or if you're lurking in the background and you need to go ahead and do the thumbs down, just get it over with and go away. I understand. I understand. I'm not your cup of tea. Yay to you and me. I don't need you. I think I missed somebody. I did. Weekend RVing. What time is your live stream Mountain Time? Because I'm up usually every morning now at this point in time, and I would like to watch your live streams. And I wish I had a van. I'll say that every time I see your name. I absolutely believe van life rocks. Unfortunately, old disabled people need something a little more, and I'm not happy with that. I want to be a van life rocks person. Victoria May, Life Unfiltered. That's how it's going to be here today, Victoria May. I think we're going to have some interesting conversation going on. Graham Patterson, thank you. I love how you spell your name, A-E. All right. Thank you so much, you guys. I don't know why it feels emotional today, but Melonomadic Adventures, thank you for stopping in. All right, let's see if we've got anybody else I have missed. Thin Blue Lane RV Life, thank you guys for coming. I believe you're over in Florida. TGIF, thank you so much. Thank you. Is someone working on your rig? Is someone working on our rig, Richard? Jerry wants to know if someone's working on our rig. Oh, by the way, I also have one of my favorite candles burning right now, but when I leave the room, the candle goes out. If I have to go to the bathroom, I blow out the candles and I relight it. Eddie T, thank you for coming. All right. Just want to make sure I get everybody. Oh, our Fatima Jaffrey. Box
no,
fan.
Homer's hammering the mechanism out of the couch.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sorry.
No problem. No problem. No, nobody's working on a rig. Homer is working on Matt. He's hammering something. All right. No problemo. Lucky Dog Productions moderator. Yes, Sherry, some days it's just a feeling day. And D, thank you, D. And I will be over. If I don't come over, I'm dead. Okay, D? That's just how it's going to be. I will be over after my live stream. I have one call return, and then I will be over to your house. We've been trying so hard to get this a connection made, and so one thing after another has gotten in the way. And I love D. I just haven't been able to show my friendship to her enough, and that matters. You know, I try to be a good friend, and some of that is just setting aside what I want and doing what I actually, that's said wrong. Like, I want to go over and spend time with Dee. Our solar has really been an issue. We have never been able to get it installed, been able to find anybody help us get it installed on the roof. So we're locked down here. And Dee's not that far. So after the stream, I have to return a call, and then Dee is the next thing I want to do, because she is one of my bucket lists. And I've met her. I've spent a little time with her, but not enough time. Kaylee, our Fatima, Jaffrey. How is your RV doing mechanically? Mechanically, it's doing great. I'm really not having, to my knowledge, any mechanical problems. Chasing America. I believe I said hello, but if I didn't, hello. Yeah. It's outside. All right, TGIF, snowing up. Wow. So at my house where my Sticks and Bricks is in Eugene, Oregon, and it's going to be in single digits. I called my son today to remind him. Number one, make sure the vents are covered. Number two, make sure there's a little dripping water tonight when he goes to bed in each of the sinks. He already has the stuff up on the outside of the house. Lucky Dog Productions moderator, Sue. Okay, I think camping therapy. Hello, Doreen. I put a lid on the candles to snuff them out. That way you don't have the smell from the smoke. That doesn't really affect me at all. You're about to go to the pool. Woo! Good for you. All right, going kind of slow through this, but I just want to make sure everybody's acknowledged. Well, we've got 34 in the house. I have no idea how many thumbs up. If you write at this point, if you feel like you want to give us the thumbs up, and those of you lurking in the background who are just waiting to give me the thumbs down, go ahead and tap it. Go ahead and tap it. I'm all right. All righty. And if you would like to share this stream out on your YouTube or on your social media or on your community tab, that's the word, community tab, I would very much appreciate it. Let's see who else we can get in here. Okay, 34 is great, though. I'm very happy each and every one of you are here, because for the most part, each and every one of you have helped me get to this place, literally this place called Quartzsite, Arizona. And 34 watching, 29 up, and 4 down. Yeah, that's about how it's going. And it works for me. Not an issue. And I'm one of those people, I refuse to not show the thumbs up and thumbs down. Okay. Wandering Gypsy Vanner, hello. I believe I missed you. Things happen, and that's all right. We get a thumbs down. I worry about the person that gives it if they're still doing okay. That's a good way to look at it. That's a good way to look at that. I don't know if that's Millie or James. I think it might be Millie, but that's a great way to look at it. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to talk about, so I've got a few things. So I'm going to go through my list. I finally have everything working. So I'm going to share my screen. Share screen. And I'm going to go to my application window. Maybe it's in my Chrome tab. There we go. It's in my Chrome tab. It is a, one moment, please. All right. Application window. Come on. I've got application. I've got an app waiting. It's weird. It's, for some reason, it's not wanting to show. It's not wanting to show my app. You know, I don't know why. Maybe there's a reason I'm not supposed to. You know, I kind of look at things like that. Maybe what I'm wanting to talk about isn't what I'm supposed to talk about. I mean, it's right there. I've just pulled it up on my, it's a Word. It's an app from Word. And I'll go ahead and talk about it anyways. You don't need to see all the pretty stuff I did to make it nice for you. It's called Do's and Don'ts. Number one, don't not plan a trip. Do look at the big picture, use maps, which, by the way, I think most of you know, my new love, my atlas. All right. However, Kathleen Cook has a small one that's about similar to this size, and it's in a spiral, and that's what I want. That's what I'm going to be looking for. And I think she got it at a Barnes and Noble. So use maps. Use a map. I didn't look at a map because, as I've told you ignorantly, I knew where Arizona was related to where I live. I looked up Eugene, Oregon, Quartzsite. So you head south. You just go south. And when you get into California, about halfway down, you make a left somewhere. I know that sounds foolish and stupid, and it is. It was very naive. And that's all right. I learned a big lesson. Find and use a GPS at all times. Thank you, Doreen, for that reminder, as a matter of fact. So I'm going to flip back and forth here. So thank you, Doreen, for that reminder. Yes, we're even using our GPS in town when we know we're going to someplace, just to get a reminder of using it. Priscilla Hughes, Dad made me relearn to read the map on our trip to Arizona. Oh, I know Dad did. Yes, I would not want to travel with Dad like that. Although it would be fun. Dad was a fun person. He was old, but he was a rockin' fun time. So yes, Priscilla is my little sister. Be nice to her. Extra super nice. She's my best friend in the world, next to my husband in Patty Lake. Arthur in Oregon, welcome. Glad you're here. Just scanning to see who I might have missed. All right, so absolutely need to use a map and use the GPS. Talk to locals beforehand. So one of the locals I talked with was Bernae Ferry Des Pena. Big giant shout out to Bernae Ferry Des Pena. She worked her A off for us without asking for it. She knew I was out of I was way over my comfort zone, and I had no idea what I was doing. She probably saved our life. So thank you, Bernae Ferry Des Pena, and welcome to Brian from B&D Crafts and More. Thank you for coming in. Forever best friend. Thank you I'm glad to see you here. It makes me feel good. All right, so those are some important things, very important things. You would think a 59-year-old educated woman would have known. And by the way, I'm not letting Richard off the hook, okay? He was sitting in the passenger seat doing nothing. We made mistakes. That is the road of mine in his life. So next, I want to talk about don't wait to understand the area. Don't wait to understand the area. Do use, meaning I needed to know more about the gravel. As you all know, I'm disabled. I can walk without a walker, but if I'm in an unstable area or I'm going to go a distance, I have to use my walker if I don't want to fall on my face, which, you know, I did do. I fell down and I did injure my arm. When I get home, if I ever make it home, I'm going to have to go to an orthopedist. I either tore something really bad in there, but I'm functional. It doesn't hurt as much as it did. Thank you, Roy and Becky, if you're still here, because they gave me a cream that is working very well when it gets put on. And yeah, so I needed to understand a little more about the topography and the elements involved in quartzite. It is a quartz area of big rocks. It is very dry, which is a good thing. I'm happy about that because I'd be stuck in here if it wasn't. So anyways, yeah, know the area. Do use Google, YouTube, and Facebook to know the area. So additionally, that includes food, water, garbage, and dumping if you're in an RV. So what kind of stores are in quartzite? Not a lot. There are some, yes, there are. So we aren't having a problem getting food. You know, we got the Dollar Tree, the Family Dollar. We've got another couple other more larger stores that are generally have a lot of groceries. So we're okay on that, and we stocked up before we left. Well, water, garbage, and dumping. So we are in an LTVA, long-term visitor area, and in long-term visitor areas. In long-term visitor areas, we have the ability, hello, Modern King, that would be my son. He's the love of my life. I love him so much. I can't even put it in words. And most parents understand that. No words for that kind of love. He helped me last night with dealing with my phone, although he was a little, we'll just say it right out. He was a little upset with me that I didn't have a cover on my phone because my phone is I still owe $600 on it. I went to as a side, I'll get back to what I'm talking about. I went to a Verizon store and I said, here's my phone. Can I get another phone? Because my life is on here. I don't think you can see all the cracks. You can't really see all the cracks. If someone calls me, someone ought to call me and you see what happens. So I went to Verizon and Verizon said you owe $600. So we can't. So what they were going to do is if I had the money to pay the, some fees and whatnot, I could walk out with a phone. I could reconnect to the world on my phone. And because I owed $600 and I did not have $600 in my pocket, I did not have that ability. So I switched. So phone numbers, names, everybody. I have many YouTube people contacts are gone. And we have 41 in the house. That is my record. So please, thank you all for doing that. I don't know who got here that I haven't seen, and I apologize for that. So, anyways, yeah, I couldn't walk out of there with a phone. So now I'm using my husband's phone. It's no longer his. Well, let's be honest. I do the work for the channel. I need the phone. I love him. He's a wonderful husband. There's many, many things that my husband does that I would have a hard time being out here. I need to remove that banner. Because there we go. That's all right. Because remove the banner. I would have a hard time being out here if it was not for him. So he is wonderful, and he does many, many things to make me have the ability to have a channel. Linda Barker, I don't know if I said hello to you, but if I did not, hello to you, Linda. I'm just scrolling real quick. See if there's any new names. I know Melonomatic Adventure. I'm going to open you in a new screen. Oh, I can't. So anyways, that is, so now, yeah, now I'm on his phone. It's a whole different phone number. But I've got access to everything I need on that phone. But my son was a little upset. He never makes mistakes with his phones. Right, Brenty? All right, so let's talk about the next issue. Gotta bring it up here. So food, water, garbage, and dumping. Water, garbage, and dumping are hugely important. If you are in hello, Mike and MJ's RV Adventures, thank you so much. If you are in an RV, so your water runs out eventually. If you go to the bathroom ever, your tank needs to be dumped. And let's see, food, water. Okay, so dumping and being able to get water. And there are places that you can do that. And there is a place here in Quartzsite, outside of Quartzsite, you can take your garbage to. And there's places to dump, apparently. What we chose to do is stay at an LTVA, long-term visitor area, and to pay $40 for 2 weeks, which we've now been here for a month almost. So $80, and it's covered that. And we've had unlimited water. We just have to go get it. We've been able to dump whenever we want, dump our black tank and our other tank. So that's well worth it. $40 a month for all of that water, sewer, garbage. Water, sewer, and garbage. That's not what it costs at my Sticks and Bricks. All right, I lost, let's see. Where are we staying? I lost my aunt. Oh, I'm so sorry. On Christmas Eve. I'm sorry, you guys, that have lost people recently. I really am. My father passed in April. He was 94. He was just on the verge of becoming 95. And he just went to sleep in his nursing home. He just closed his eyes, put his hands on his table, and he was ready to go. So, oh, Priscilla, you love my hair. You love to make fun of me. I think that's why you're saying that. You know that I like straight and not curly, but that's all right. I have to live with it. So next, let's see what we have to talk about. See, I'm staying on target, by the way. The next thing to understand about the area in is medical, including pharmacies and emergencies. And I'm going to also additionally say, yes, she did. And I'm very happy. I've got a new grandchild. I don't know her name, Brent. So, medical, including pharmacies, and I'm gonna slide in here with insurance, because my insurance, I'm disabled, and my insurance is Medicaid, not Medicare, in Oregon. They didn't let me buy my medicines, so my son put them in the mail, and they should be here today. He got them, and he put them in the mail, mailed them. It took him about 5 days to get here, but I'm alive. I do need to have my INR checked at some point in time, but I'm alive. Backroads Nomad, thank you for stopping by. Hello to you. So I will tell you that there is a pharmacy here. However, I had my plan. My plan was at home, I have a pharmacy that delivers my medications. I don't even have to go get it. I call them up, I say blah, 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 blah. And they have it out the next day. So I knew that was not going to be how it worked here. So I thought, Walmart is everywhere in the world. And some places in the universe, I believe there are some big Walmart stores out there. So I planned it. I'm going to switch everything to Walmart. They were of no use. Now everything is going back to my regular pharmacy, and I will just work it out every time I need medicine refills. I will have my son send me my refills. It won't be as screwed up, is what I'm going to say, as the last time. Rometown Girl, oh my God. Kim, broken phone. Yes, I don't have your information. I can't call you. I can't text you. So my phone number, I'm going to put it in this chat at this moment. Actually, Kim, if you could email me your information again, I'm so sorry. I'm not going to put it in the chat because I know that there are some lurkers in the background that are not friends, and I would prefer them not to get a hold of Richard's number. So Richard's phone has now become my phone until I get my phone back. Anyways, that's how it works. Tracy Kroll, welcome. Yes, Kaylee. Kaylee stops me when I'm going to make a bad decision. All right, so know the medical people here in the area, and there is a doctor that I know that someone has used that is local. I believe I know there's no hospitals here, no emergency rooms. I'm not sure about urgent care, but I don't believe there is urgent care. So it's either going to, I can't think of the name in California, or up to, Parker, Arizona, which is a 40-minute drive. The other place in California is a 15-minute drive. So that's where I would go, needing nursing or travel bug. Good morning, afternoon. It's afternoon for all of us now. I don't know anybody who's still in the morning. Yep, thank you, Fatima. So know those things if you need them. And you know what, even if you not have underlying medical conditions, know what you would need, where you would need to go if in case there was a problem. Because guess what, shit happens, life happens, things get dumped on you, and potentially may need to go to a doctor. So know where you're going. Blythe, Kim, thank you. And I do need to have a long conversation with you, if at all possible, tonight. I've got my days wrapped up. So that's imperative. That was important for me. And I kind of had an idea, but it didn't matter. I just was going anyways. I had one thing in mind, my interview with Bob Wells, which I'll tell you at the end of this when it is. And I'm excited. It's getting close. Let's see. Oh, it is 11:15 there. You're contacted me via Richard's phone, so you should have my info. Okay. All right. I've got your info. Priscilla, where'd she go? Always have backup contingency plans for everything. I know, and you know me, Priscilla, I rarely do anything that I'm not in control of. I had no control because I didn't even plan. It's just the way it worked. All right, second thing is, or the third thing is, newbies, don't go it alone. Do not, it's just a recommendation, unless you are like the smartest cookie on the planet and you've taken a schooling of what is going to happen out here, or you know people, don't go it alone. Find a group of people, a tribe, if you will, to hang out with. Doesn't mean you have to stay with them. Maybe you won't, mesh. Maybe there will be issues, but at least find some people, and there are ways to do that. I know Cheap RV Living has a website on connecting with people. I think it's We Want to Camp or something. And HOWA, and also HOWA, Homes on Wheels Alliance. If somebody could drop both of those links, Cheap RV Living and Homes on Wheels Alliance, I would appreciate it. Stay in touch with trusted friends. That means you make a plan ahead of time. You know what I did? I was driving out of town, and I ran by my little sister's house, and she made me call my big sister. I didn't even tell anybody. I mean, everybody knew I was coming to Quartzsite eventually, but one day on a Wednesday, over 3 weeks ago, we left. And I went by my little sister's house, I think to give her something and to pick something up. And then I said, we're going to Quartzsite. And she was pretty shocked. And well, like actually, when I told her on the phone we were going, yes, she has pictures of me leaving her driveway. I'll probably need those, Priscilla. RV Ashes in April. Good morning to you, Margie. I hope we get to see you again before we leave. So anyways, have a plan and trusted people. I had always said I was going to do the Google Map, do the Google thing where you give your information to a group of people. I did not do that. I did not do that. But I call my sisters all the time, and I've made a couple connections in this community. It's a bad idea to do it that way. We've had a couple of occasions where, you know, that we've needed some help, and it was good to have people around we could trust. Phone contacts and email. So making sure that your contacts have your email, your phone, everything that they could possibly need in order to track you if something might happen. And the Google Map thing actually would help that happen. If we fell off a cliff somewhere and we were trying to get out of our RV and we were stuck, somebody might know, hey, they're here in this giant litter box, as Priscilla calls it, this giant litter box, because it's all gravel. All right. And also, so Chamber of Commerce maps, sites to see, etc. And not a good excuse, but we have not done that. I'm trying to pull you back up here. We've not done that because we've been tied to this dam. I'm just going to say it, this damn solar. I'm so grateful for the solar. Troy from Nomadic Rat Pack set us up. He's a wonderful man. Another shout out. If somebody could drop, well, you don't need to drop his link because he's not really doing an active channel right at this time. We have Life 360, Sherry. Richard and I and our son have Life 360. I'm wondering if it's working, Brent. See if you can find me. So we, yeah, making sure that trusted people know where you're at all times. And then we're going to move on to, let's see, we share our location with our daughter on Google Maps. So it's the smart thing to do. Number 4, and we're in our last area. Don't minimize your personal needs. Okay. So do have all your ducks in a row. How will you take care of food, water, shelter, garbage, bathroom, individual needs, doctors, medication, and insurance? So let's just say don't minimize your personal needs is imperative. I have special medical needs. I wear a bracelet that I take blood thinner, which I don't have, and I've been out on for days. So my blood is probably clotted like a banshee. And it's a risk. I'm at risk for a blood clot, which is a DVT, or the one that goes to the lungs, or a stroke. Unfortunately, until I get my warfarin, and I need a new, I have a hard copy for a test, a blood test. I've got to find a place I can get that done at. Or I'm going to need to go to an ER and just say, I need this done. It's emergent. So I didn't have all that ducks in a row. I mean, of course I knew. Oh, and I have my little tag, my dog tag that has on the back special issues besides the blood thinner. I think there's 3. I think there's 3. And by the way, who to call? One of those people? My little sister. And I told her, if you get a call, I'm giving you this privilege of being the person to be called. If you get the call, do not freak out. By the way, I'm going to need you to be able to handle it. Always whining about, you know, she's the little sister, blah, blah, blah. Well, I just gave her, put my life in her hands. How's that, Priscilla? Okay, we already talked about, but to make sure, again, to reiterate, know how you're going to get food, water, shelter. Let's say, yeah, so food, water, shelter. Ideally, we would have some kind of tent. I believe. I just believe that we should have some kind of tent, because what happens if something happens to this? And where, the garbage, bathrooms, blah, 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 individual medical needs. I have a listing of all my doctors here. A listing that I carry with me, and a listing of my medication and my insurance. So that if anything happened, that would all be understood quickly. Because again, if you have special needs of any kind, that needs to be understood quickly. In my case, one of my conditions could really easily kill me, but if treated improperly. All right, so woo, I got through that. So one of the issues. All right, I'm gonna take that down. That banner down. Where did my email go? I know it's here. All right, you little bugger. I'm going to put butter up there because I want you to kind of get used to that. When you see that, that's burning up the roads. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run my PayPal for a few minutes. Not asking for money. It's just one of the ways that if somebody wants to gift us, it's there. And I prefer that. And I say this every time, and I'm going to continue explaining why real quickly. The reason is the super chats. I love doing super chats, super stickers. They're so cute. The super stickers are cute. All right. But YouTube takes 30%. And if you give someone a gift from an Apple product, it's an additional 30%. So there you go. 60% gone, and it takes at least a month to get it. Whereas PayPal gets it to the intended person immediately. All right, so that's that. And that's just going to be up there for maybe 5 minutes. Kaylee, if you could remind me that my 5 minutes is up when it comes time. All right. We don't need any of that. All righty. So let's see. Let me look at that and make sure I covered everything, because I really worked on this. I really worked on this hard. So one of the things I did not put up here, and I don't know why I did not put it up there, is one of the things that we always, well, let me go through here and look at back roads. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? I saw back roads put something smart up here. Okay, thank you, Priscilla. I know I have added life. You can have a link to someone so they always can. Yeah, my son, our son, he's mine, but he's ours. Our son has us on his Life 360. We're a family on there. Yep, it's staying found, and I want to make sure. I'll tell you, when he traveled, when he traveled across the city in Eugene, I made sure his Life 360 was working when he was young, across the city. I know. I was a very crazy mama. And you share your location with daughter on Google Maps. I need to learn to do that. Okay. I know Backroads, you said something. It looked like 30 milligrams or something like that. Oh, there we go. Nomadic. Thank you. You're too kind, and we're watching today, but we're not interacting and chatting until now. I understand. I'll be calling you. I'm calling you as soon as this live stream is over, and then I'm going to go see Box Fan D immediately after that and spend the afternoon with her. Oh, yes. So we have in my purse a bottle of regular of 360 milligram aspirin, something like that. And if I felt anything weird, and I know what my blood clots feel like, I've had 7 of them, and my leg swells up like a balloon. My foot does. It's only in my right leg. It's never affected my lungs or my left leg or anywhere else in my body. So, but any injury can So I was being kind of a little worried about this in my arm. But yes, I would take an aspirin, and actually one time in the emergency room, they had me chew 2 aspirin when there was a blood clot, a big one that had developed. And so even though I was on warfarin, yes, Priscilla, we're hoping you won't. It's a precaution. It's a precaution. But if I given it to Nancy, you'd be whining at me. You know it, and I know it. Even though Nancy's the oldest now. There we go. Found him. Take an 81 milligram aspirin per day. Eat turmeric, quarter cinnamon per day. Those will keep your blood. So I'm gonna when we go back into town, I'm gonna try and find the. I have heard that, and I've read it on many sites that's works. So I'm going to go pick up those until if I have any trouble with my. I was going to start incorporating it. Back roads. All right. A PE, a pulmonary embolism. Well, and unfortunately, Sherry, when many times people who get pulmonary embolisms, even if they get them in an emergency room, don't survive it. Those and one of the aortic aneurysms. So I feel good. I don't feel any weirdness. I'm in tune to it because trust me, I'm not ready to die. I've been on that doorstep once, and I don't want to be there again. I found out actually. I'm always saying. So I'm one of those people who's like, oh, if I go today, I will be fine with my life. I've done what I wanted to do. At the time, pretty much anything I wanted to do, I did. As it turns out, when I was almost dead because of a nurse's mistake and I was laying in intensive care, it turns out I actually am not ready to die. I don't want to die. I have things I want to do. I didn't even know about this at the time. So I'd have been real pissed off if I'd died and got to see from wherever I end up this. Oh, I have had multiple EEs, so take the aspirin daily until you get back on warfarin. Okay. Okay. Absolutely. We'll do that. Don't even wait for weirdness. Take an aspirin, everything will even with dinner. Okay, Kaylee. It should be here. My warfarin should be here today at this place. I can't remember the name, but I know where it's at. All right, so the other thing, so what I was going to finish this up with is how much time do I have? Oh, just about enough time so I don't cry my eyes out. So one of the things you cannot plan for is a financial collapse. Little mocha. I always heard Bob Wells say, and I'm going to tell him this when I see him, how right he is. See, I'm going to put my head back to roll my tears back in my head. It always has worked. You cannot plan for financial collapse. And both of our streams of finance have completely collapsed. Mine about 90% collapsed. And Richard's is on hold. We're not sure what's going on. We have emails in, calls in. None of the agencies that we're dealing with, you can no longer get a hold of. You either have to, Richard stayed online for 8.5 hours after taking 2 hours to get them. At 8.5 hours, the call dropped. It's set here on our table for 8.5 hours, waiting to be talked to. So Bob Wells and other people, but Bob really is the one. If you're traveling in a Class A, and I think Camper Van Kevin, and by the way, please remember Camper Van Kevin in your prayers, because things I believe, from what I understood yesterday, and Kaylee, tell me if I'm wrong. First of all, go back and watch his live stream from yesterday. It was fabulous. And it sounds like things might be turning around for him. Don't take my word. I could be wrong. Go watch his live stream, but I'm pretty sure. And if you could drop it, Kaylee, his live stream from yesterday. So between him and Bob Wells always said, if you're going to travel in a Class A, have about $10,000 backup. Things will happen. There's no ifs. They will happen. If you're traveling in a Class C, have about 5,000 as backup money. And that is just in a savings account. That is not money to roll on. And then obviously, if you're traveling in a van, like Van Life rocks, you don't need that. Van Vita Travels. Hello to you, sweetheart. I'm so glad you're here. And I loved your live stream Saturday night. You had a lot of fun, sweetheart. You did. It's like, I remember those days. And I'm not a trigger in any way. I'm just saying it was fun. Also get some Super Beets powder. It is a vasodilator, expands the blood vessels, which allows the blood to flow. Okay. By the way, does beets themselves. So I have pickled beets. Do pickled beets help at all? Because I could eat a whole can of those babies. I love them. This Saturday will be amazing. I'm sure it will. I am sure it will. And if you're a moderator in here, if y'all want to drop the links of everybody in here that you know who is a content creator. Oh no, my candle just went out. That's because there's too much wax. I can't pour it down the drain like I did when I was a kid. But my dad isn't here to get on to me. So if you just reminded me, if you could all please, the dating game. Dang it. That's going to be fun. All right. Is there some way I can help you out? It would be fun. Yes, I love beach too. So financial collapse is what I was talking about. So these people who've been doing this for a while, blah, blah, blah. So I heard them, and I believe it isn't a matter of I didn't believe them. I just wanted to come here so bad I could taste it. I wanted to get my interview with Bob, and I wanted to meet as many people out here as I could. So far, I've met Roy and Becky. I have met Artist on the Road, American Wanderer, Kathleen Klein and her hubby. I have met, I know I'm leaving somebody out that's really immediate here. It's because my head is full of a lot of things. Duffy, he's right across the way. I've met a lot of people, and some people who are already gone, and then other people as well. And so I just wanted, I don't know if you understand, it just was in my gut. I couldn't not do it. And unfortunately, by the way, Bob was right and Camper Van Kevin was right, 110%. We have had things go wrong, and that it's taken everything we had, even though they were smaller things. We have had things go wrong. We had the issue with our fuel pump or fuel filter, which is in the back, which was weird to me because it feels like to me it should be in the front. Okay, it shouldn't be lodged between an airbag and the frame of the RV. Does anyone agree with me on that? That seems bullshit, but it's the way it is. And because we had a broken bracket that we are now just carrying around, that was holding up this airbag, and because the bracket was broken, there was the bracket, the airbag, and the fuel filter. Every time we hit a bump, the fuel filter was smashed, and that's why we smelled fuel. It cost us $125, I think, to fix that. There was something else. So we've had some things go wrong. And I will tell you for a fact, I've done everything wrong financially. I did not have a backup. I did not, because I didn't have reason. My financial situation had been stable for 7 years, 7, 8 years. I had no reason to believe there would be an issue with that. And that would be fine. That would get me where I needed to go at all times. And then, and Richards was fairly stable. Aaron Jemison, hello to you. And so so Kaylee, did you call me on the time? Because I'm taking the banner down. So that's how I'm handling that right now. If someone could help me figure out, as I'm going to continue on with what I'm saying, but I want to make my PayPal a tip jar. I'm not technically adept. I can do some things, but I don't have time to work on it for 40 days and 40 nights. Okay. All the animals are in here. I need it. I need to know how to do that. If somebody would just email me and either just give me the steps on how to do it or where I can find it. I don't, need you to do it for me. I would be really happy. And by the way, I stole something from you, Aaron, a few weeks ago. I got that from Aaron Jemison. Every time he's on a chat, he puts up something very similar to this, if not exactly. If you see someone here you do not know, note who they are, and after the stream, go over and check them out. Give them a try. See if they're your cup of tea, but at least give them a try, because I can tell you everybody in here I know to one degree or another. I'm going to leave that up there for a while. All right. So I stole that from you, Aaron, and I just wanted you to know. Aaron has been a great supporter of the channel. He's given me great feedback. He's helped me figure things out. And yes, Aaron intimidates me because he's so dang smart. You're very smart, Aaron. Thank you for being a supporter of my channel. All right, so I'll take that down and let him run that. Anyways, I appreciate that, Aaron. So I did not follow. That's where I didn't follow their advice. So I didn't do anybody's advice, really. I just went to California, turned left, had a nervous breakdown, and made it to Arizona in one piece. And I'm better at driving the RV, much better at driving the RV. And I feel way more comfortable, and I feel very confident with it. I actually feel like certain Class A's I could probably drive now. We were riding yesterday to Yuma with Kathleen Klein and her husband, and I was looking out his window and looking at, like, I could drive that RV. I believe I could. It's just, it felt like I could do it. All right. So, is Hello Artsy Dude? He is as Art Dude. Okay. So I did not make that plan. The financial plan, the financial situation has collapsed, and it's out of our hands. So in a way, we're stranded here in Quartzsite, Arizona, for a while. And I really have grown to like Quartzsite. I don't want to live in Quartzsite. See, I grab my cross when I feel anxious, and that's what I'm doing. I didn't anticipate it, and I did not have a savings for it, and that's just a fact. So let me tell you, if you are wanting to come out on the road and you do not have a backup financial pocket of money somewhere hidden away that isn't about getting from A to B, it's just there for an emergency, it's a mistake. It was, so at that level, yes, it was a mistake for me. It was a mistake, a big time mistake. And come drive my Class 8 Iowa. I think you have a much bigger Class A than they have. Yours is a big Class A, Aaron, I believe. Like, aren't you like 40 feet? Now that seems big. Oh boy, Prairie Life. Thank you, Karen. Thank you for coming. And 36 still in the house. I'm very grateful to all of you who stood by this live stream. Okay, so it is a mistake. I'm owning it. It's a big mistake, because even though I could not have predicted that was going to happen, stuff happens. I'm 59 and I know that, but I had no reason to think that it would all collapse, and it did. So I'm now here in Arizona. Oh, mother of God. I'm now in Arizona. For another 2 weeks. We paid our $40 yesterday. and or day before yesterday. And so we've got another 2 weeks here. However, however, what was I going to say? We do have to go up near Parker on Sunday. All right, so that's the situation. I'm stuck in Arizona and stranded. Stranded, actually, that's the right word. We'll be just straightforward honest. Stranded in Arizona, and I'm having to think really hard about how I make my decisions, and that thing I needed to know that in the time we're living right now, there's a certain level of uncertainty, and I chose to leave in the midst of a presidential election or handing over and the coronavirus blowing up and being unfriendly to people. So 6 thumbs down. I don't, yeah, thank you, Backroads. I ask them to just get it over with. I'll live through it. I'm not going to cry over them. I'm fairly certain I know who they are. And even though I don't know Camo Dave, I don't know why he would be, out there doing that. But I know a couple people that might very well be doing it. One very specific person, and that's all right. So yeah, we're stranded, and our solar, so it'll work out. I've never had things not work out in my life. I've never had things not work out. However, I do have to think about how, really think about the how of one moving from one place to the other. So in 2 weeks, I suspect we're going to be, so Sunday, so this Sunday is the interview with Bob, 11 o'clock or 11:30. I've got the coordinates on how to meet him. After that, we are going to come back here. I don't want to do that again. It's gas that I just don't want to waste, but we really need to use the LTVA. And it will give me time to, it'll give me time to deal with some content that I haven't got completed yet. Dealing with the phone, we'll have a place to have anything sent that needs to be sent. And so I recommend that here's the bottom line. When we are planning trips of this nature and we've never done it, we need to make sure we know the who, what, when, where, and how of doing it. So it's a beautiful life. It can be a beautiful life. I'm looking at wonderful, beautiful mountains of different colors right now, and the sandbox where my vehicle's sitting, but the beautiful panoramic pictures of those mountains. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. So it does take money. By the way, if you come out with nothing, I don't know how you do it. I haven't figured that out because I'm pretty shrewd about knowing those things and understanding those things. And I haven't, I just know that be really clear about what if your whatever money you get falls through. What are you going to live on? What are you going to put in your gas tank? How are you going to pay your phone, your insurance, your blah, blah, all the things that it takes to really be alive in the world? It really does take to be alive in this world. Understand that. Van Vita talks about she's got an early retirement, I believe, in 10 years. I understand why you hold out. I believe you would love to just get out and be doing this full time. It's all over you, Paula. You would have a fun rockin' time, sweetheart. You would love this. But I understand why. You're getting a pension in 10 years. But then there's that other question. You've also said, and I'm going to point you out, Paula, where you've also said that what if in 10 years you're not able to do it? So, Richard, is Patty back there? Yep. Okay, because our screen door just opened and closed. Our screen door just opened and closed. What if in 10 years, So the what if, is also pertinent. I heard a couple today that I've never heard before. I've never watched them. And they were talking about that this may not be for everybody. And I think it's for anybody who really wants to. And by the way, who has the resources to do it. There is resources needed. Will be very excited when I have the ability to have Medicare that I can take, that it's portable, because Medicaid is not portable unless there's an emergency, like if I keel over and they have to come and get me, blah, blah, blah. That's covered. Medicare, I hurt my arm. I could just go to an emergency room and have it looked at and figure it out. What happens if pensions and Social Security disappear? Excellent point, Sherry. So those are imperative things. There is nothing in this world is absolute, I don't believe. I believe very few things are absolute. And there are some absolutes necessary to travel. When I get back home, and I'm assuming I will get back home, I will probably, for a time being, until things are clearly straightened out, it will all be it will all work out. It will work out. I'm like I said, Richard and I are both, we're very much adult people. We've lived 60 years. He's lived almost 62 years. This Sunday, Richard will be 62 years old, and I will be 26 years sober. So, pensions and Social Security, and what are people going to do that are living on sticks and bricks? Absolutely true there too. There are no guarantees, right, Sherry? So we're 1,000 miles away from home, and things are in flux. We'll just call it, things are in flux financially. And I'm okay. I'm not panic stricken. I believe, I trust, I have a lot of faith in the God greater than myself that is in control. And when it feels the most like things are not in control, that's when I have to dig deep and remember that I've overcome many things. I have survived many things, including moments from dying. Had it not been for a sweet young CNA, of all people. And I have been able to do some things that I wanted to do in this life. One of them is to come and do this. And I don't know if I would do it differently, because the what ifs are not, I can't judge it. I would say, yes, have some backup, have something, because before we left, we had to replace one little thing, a converter, not an inverter, but a converter on this RV. And it was $500 bill that we had to pay. And the guy said, if this was a Class A, we would be paying $2,500. What if we were on the road and that had happened? What if we were on the road and that had happened? At the time we had the $500, apparently. So, yes. Linda, thank you, sweetheart. I'm really not asking for money, and I appreciate that super chat. Put up my PayPal. All right. I will put it up for a few minutes. I know PayPal's look like e-begging, and that's really not for me and not for anybody I know. It's not e-begging. Nobody is e-begging, but I know that is out there, and that bothers people. I don't blame them. All right, so I'm going to leave that up for 5 minutes, and then I'm going to be out of here because we're over time anyways. So that's what's happening. Life is happening. Things happened that we didn't expect, and additionally, we did not plan for. All I can say is that Bob and Kevin talk very clearly and directly about making sure you have a backup plan financially. We did not. And, just going back in our life, we made some good decisions and we made some bad decisions, and we did not make good financial decisions throughout our years. That's it. We did not. I did not do it. And that's foolish, stupid behavior. And so I just want you all to know that if you're new and if you are looking at this as I did, I thought this was like the be all end all. It's what I had to do. And it is. I've got to do it. I want to do this more. There's more places I want to see. I want to, up in my neck of the woods in Oregon, I want to go spend time in Central Oregon. I want to go down by Crater Lake. After the snow is gone, people, though. And Camille Tyler. Hello, Camille Tyler. Thank you for coming back today. So just pay attention to that. If you're planning on coming out and you're in the planning stages, be honest with yourself. Just be honest with yourself. If I broke down in Timbuktu, how am I going to get to, do I have insurance that's going to get me to get fixed? Do I have the money to get it fixed? If this particular financial stream went away for whatever reason, is there another one that will take its place? You know, will another one swoop in and take its place? And how can you make that happen? So yes, we have some ideas about online online work. Backroads, start an online company. Yes, sir. I may need to talk to you, get some good ideas. But yes, I am. On one hand, I'm very organized. On the other, I think it's more called a control freak. On the other hand, I obviously am not very organized because I didn't even know how to get to Quartzsite except you make a left-hand turn in Central California. All right, so I'm going to close there. I'm going to say also that if, let's see, what was it? So on our trip home, oh, my beautiful atlas. I love this atlas. I love having it. It's like a security blanket. Have an atlas. Preferably get one of those smaller ones. It's with a bind. It's bound. I've been looking, and I believe I'm going to go up through Nevada and connect with. I want to stay out of California. I don't want to go back through the giant freeways. I just don't. But it looks like I'm going to have to go skirt through Las Vegas and up, just keep going up 95 into Tonopah, by the way. My father worked in Tonopah back in the 70s. And then go up, keep going up through Sparks, Nevada. Carson, Sparks, Nevada. And maybe come out at Susanville in California and then cut over to I-5 from Susanville. If any of you are locals or know that route, so that's 95 north up to Sparks, Carson City, even Carson City, Sparks, it stays away from Lake Tahoe. I want to avoid the snow and any giant mountains. So I'm at least making a good effort. I'm making an effort. You see, here it is. Richard and I were looking at it last night. So I'm starting to plan home. We also still have our 1,000 trails. Unfortunately, the most of the 1,000 trails in California, we really would have to go over very early. I just want to, so just let me know if that's a good route, or if you suspect it's a bad route, or if you don't want to, don't. I'll figure it out. All right, guys. So bottom note, last line, plan, and then plan again, and then find a backup plan for that plan. Don't come out here without absolute in the bank some bucks, because some things will have to be fixed. It is, as everybody told me, a rolling earthquake. Yesterday, this is funny. So yesterday when we were with Kathleen and Homer in their Class A, we were going whoosh, 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 back and forth. It was just rocking back and forth. It was really fun. And thank you, Lucky Dog. Thank you so much, Sue. Please, I really, I debated on telling y'all this, But I'm an upfront, what you see is what you get person. I am not a deceitful, I have to make it look like everything is good and eat those feelings and eat the reality. Um, oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Yes, we're still going Thin Blue Lane, but I'm closing her down here in just a moment. Yes, so our RV Ashes in April, we've got to stay at 1, and it is a nice opportunity, you know, when you can, because everything, water, sewer, garbage. If we have to do that, we'll do it. And I also know that there is Thousand Trails, I believe, in near Vegas. I know there is, as a matter of fact. I just have to have a clear timeline of when we are leaving here, because in order to make that plan, it has to be, you know, it has to be, I need to know the date. So anyways, plan, have very clear financial backup. I would have loved to have had that done, and I did not. And it's my own fault. Richard and I are responsible collectively for erring in that way, because those our financial support collapsed for the most part. We're trying to get it straightened out. I think it will be straightened out, but as again, there's a million people trying to get these things straightened out at the same time. And so that's what I have for today. And I really hope that you did get something out of this. I may go back later, take this down and make it into a video. Oh, plans. Okay, I'm working on a video I did with Kathleen Klein. So you saw the live stream. I've taken the live stream down and I'm cutting it up and turning it into a content video. And that is going to be ready, I think, today or tomorrow. And I believe I'm going to do the same thing with this, because this stuff is important. I believe, I wish I'd followed this a long time ago. Maybe not, just depends. And Sunday I meet with Bob. Richard and I meet with Bob Wells. We're going to be working on, you know, tidying everything up, getting everything in place, getting ready for that. And I'm excited about that. I'm going to tell him the mistakes I made up front in the interview. Why not? Why pretend? What is the point of pretending? I wish I could. You can take the atlas apart, separate the pages, and get them laminate and spinal at Kinko's. I've done that before. It works well. Okay. And I suppose I could find a binder this size, maybe. But the one she's got, really, it's about this big. You know, I don't think you can see it, but it's about this big. It's good size still, and it's just spiral all the way down. I love it. And so just be honest with yourself about what you've got, what you don't have, and what would happen if, because the ifs are not uncommon. Those ifs are not uncommon. And I'm now stuck in Arizona because I didn't make the plan properly and the ifs are happening. So take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Stay healthy. Stay safe. And be happy. Be happy.